Next on Worcester News tonight, a professor at UMass Medical School accused of photographing a student in the bathroom. Plus, a man in court today for allegedly performing obscene acts in front of a local elementary school. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McCone. We begin tonight with a Worcester man arrested for allegedly exposing himself and performing lewd acts near an elementary school. Witnesses say the man was in plain view in an apartment window and many yelled at him to stop before calling police. Sergeant Carrie Hazelhurst says both parents and children were disturbed when officers arrived.
It was very disturbing for the parents, very disturbing for the children to see, and as a result, we received numerous calls on this incident. Several officers did arrive at the scene and are able to get into the apartment, find this individual, place him under arrest.
The 59-year-old man was arraigned today, and he was not silent while facing the charges. Olivia Lemon has more.
Excuse me, sir. I have nothing to hide, Judge. I have never put my hands on anybody.
Michael Borsino speaks out at his arraignment in Worcester District Court. Prosecutors say the 59-year-old exposed himself and committed a lewd act in his apartment window. Police say the whole incident was in plain view of a school and parents dropping their kids off Wednesday morning.
He had no pants on and that his head was covered, and he was actively masturbating in the window as the children were walking into the school.
The incident happened around 8 a.m. near Woodland Academy. Prosecutors say parents, a crossing guard, and a custodian all asked the man to stop, but he continued.
The individual then ran from the site of the window and then came back actively masturbating again, Judge.
He's perverted. He shouldn't be out here. He should be in jail.
Worried for my son. I don't know if something could happen to him.
Worcester Public Schools Safety Liaison Rob Pizzella says the school system has strict conditions on how individuals like Borsino can interact with the school.
To where he does end up becoming a level 3 sex offender, and we want to make sure that this person does not come back to the same residence where he committed these disgusting acts.
Borsino's lawyer says he denies these allegations. Borsino took it upon himself to also tell the judge this.
I don't condone that activity myself, and I've never had that type of thing before.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
Some fireworks at the Southbridge School Committee meeting last night. School Committee Chairman Scott Lazo took former school superintendent Stephen Bliss to task after serving as the interim superintendent. Bliss was officially named to the position in late September. He was in the role for less than a month before stepping down, citing health reasons. Tuesday, Lazo expressed his frustration with the situation.
There's no bounce back. He show up as some sort of administrator somewhere. He's not a winner, but I'm just, I guess we've been blessed. They call me blessed.
In an interview with the Telegram, Mr. Bliss called Mr. Lazo's statement an inaccurate set of circumstances. A flipped car on 290 this afternoon causes quite a backup. Take a look at this picture. As you can see, the car is overturned. It happened right around 3 p.m. The crash caused traffic on both sides of 290 for some time. No word yet on the condition of the driver. A UMass Medical School student says a doctor and faculty member was taking pictures of her while she was using the bathroom. He now faces several charges. Our Patricia Nicholas has the details.
Dr. Marcus Cooper, a UMass Medical School faculty member. He's charged with taking a picture of a female student in a woman's restroom.
It's really sad. It's a shame that happened.
According to court documents, a female student was using the restroom when she heard a noise
and noticed knuckles and a cell phone camera lens pointing down in her direction.
She chased the male out of the restroom and down halls after he allegedly walked away from her. He was later identified as Dr. Marcus Cooper.
A physician and as a man, you should never do anything like that to violate a woman. And these are two places where you should feel safe, where you're near a physician or you're in a woman's bathroom.
The incident allegedly happened in September. UMass police investigated and the school has put out a statement. The medical school responded quickly, appropriately, and thoroughly to the reported incident, which resulted in charges being filed against the alleged perpetrator, a faculty member who was also a member of UMass Memorial's medical group. We did reach out to Dr. Cooper. He was unavailable for comment. Patricia Nicholas, Worcester News Tonight.
In court documents, Dr. Cooper says the incident was a complete misunderstanding. They also show the woman said the doctor told her, "You have no idea who I am, and if you did, you wouldn't be doing this." A Hardwick father accused of causing grave injury to his son was back in court today. Randall Lintz pleaded not guilty to child abuse charges in Worcester Superior Court. Lintz's son, 7-year-old Jack Louizel, was found unresponsive at Lintz's home in July. The boy weighed only 38 pounds at the time. Lintz's attorney says they reject accusations he deliberately tried to harm the boy. Lintz is due back in court next month. Worcester police asking for the public's help after a series of car break-ins in a city neighborhood. Police report several incidents of motor vehicle vandalism and break-ins over the past few weeks around Highland, Elm, Main, and Russell Street. Police say many of the incidents involved unlocked cars with valuable electronics out in the open. Residents say there is concern in the neighborhood.
I mean, it's terrible. I mean, you should lock your doors, keep your valuables safe.
I mean, it's never a great thing to hear, but you know, as long as you're locking your doors and taking care of your own property, I mean, it's alarming, but at the same time, there's only so much you can do in situations like that.
Worcester police also ask residents to lock their cars and hide valuables from plain sight. The C-SPAN crew was at the Worcester Historical Museum today in honor of their upcoming segment on the history of Worcester. Working alongside Charter Communications, C-SPAN's production team will be featuring the literary life and history of selected cities. Worcester was one of the cities chosen for the series. The cable network will interview local historians, authors, and civic leaders throughout the week. Today, local leaders and C-SPAN producers talked about Worcester's rich history and why the city was such a great choice.
It's rich in its history with the abolition movement, with the Worcester Revolution of 1774, the industry, looking at the Industrial Revolution that's taken place, a lot of innovation, a lot of firsts that's come out of here.
When we know more about these wonderful stories of Worcester, the people, the places, the events, the happenings, the businesses that make it the great city it is, then it becomes a much more exciting place for all of us.
The segment will air on Book TV, C-SPAN 2, and C-SPAN 3 in December. Well, today is October 21st, 2015, a date significant to fans of the Back to the Future movies. Michael J. Fox or Marty McFly's version of the future featured hoverboards and flying cars. And while we don't have those inventions just yet, our Andy Madison reports the reality in Worcester is still pretty good.
California.
The future has become the present.
On Wednesday, October 21st, 2015.
In the movie Back to the Future Part 2, Marty McFly and Doc Brown travel to 2015 and find themselves in a world with flying cars, hoverboards, and shoes that tie themselves. That day, October 21st, is a day fans of the sci-fi trilogy have been waiting for. In Westboro, Regal Cinemas had a special screening of the trilogy. Which one is your favorite?
The second movie.
How come?
Because they have all the hoverboards, the flying cars, the almanac thing in the movie.
In the spirit of Back to the Future Day, Holy Cross's alumni Twitter page tweeted out a photo of when the DeLorean was on campus. These days, there aren't many DeLoreans on the road, and cars are still driven and not flown. But a lot has changed in the last 30 years, especially in Worcester.
In Back to the Future, they had a dead downtown. Parts of our downtown were challenged then. We've made enormous progress in 30 years.
What other similarities are there? The city does have a clock tower, and it overlooks Clock Tower Drive. And the next Doc Brown could be lurking somewhere in a science classroom as we speak.
No hoverboards, but those students over at WPI are probably making them as we speak.
What about flying cars?
Probably not for a while, because cars weigh so much.
Of course, a lot of people looking at what the movie accurately did predict in 2015. Of course, in the movie Back to the Future Part 2, the Cubs won the World Series against Miami. Now, Miami does have a baseball team, but as for the Cubs, they are in the NLCS. The World Series is still a possibility, and those shoes that lace themselves apparently are coming in 2016. Tim, back to you.
All right, thanks, Andy. I'm sure Kevin Shea will be busting those out for sports any day now.